Have you ever wondered how one selfless decision could completely change a person's life forever? Imagine standing just minutes away from the opportunity you've waited years for, only to walk away because a complete stranger needed your help. Most people would call that the biggest mistake of your life. But what if that stranger held the power to change your future in ways you could never imagine? Stay until the very end because this true-to-life inspired story carries a lesson that might change the way you see kindness forever. And before we begin, don't forget to like this video, subscribe to the channel, and turn on notifications because every story here is a reminder that goodness never goes unnoticed. Ryan Parker stared at the faded photograph taped inside his old apartment door before leaving for work. It showed him, his late wife Emma, and their 5-year-old daughter Lily smiling on a beach during happier days. Emma had been gone for 3 years after a sudden illness stole her away, leaving Ryan to become both father and mother overnight. Every morning he touched the photograph gently before whispering, "I'm trying, Emma." Life had become a never-ending race against time. Ryan woke before sunrise to prepare Lily for school, worked odd freelance jobs during the day, delivered groceries at night, and still struggled to pay rent. His biggest dream had always been working as a senior project manager at Harrison Technologies, one of the most respected companies in the city. He had applied 4 times over the years. 4 times he had been rejected. But this time felt different. After months of studying, practicing interviews, and updating his skills online late at night after Lily had fallen asleep, Ryan finally received an invitation for a final interview. It wasn't just another interview. It was his last chance before his savings completely disappeared. "Daddy," Lily said while eating cereal that morning, "are you nervous?" Ryan smiled. "A little. You'll get the job because you're the smartest, Daddy." He laughed softly. "I hope you're right." She reached into her backpack and handed him a folded piece of paper. "I made this for luck." Inside was a drawing of Ryan wearing a superhero cape with the words, "My daddy never gives up." Ryan fought back tears. He folded the picture carefully and placed it inside his jacket pocket. "I'll carry this all day." The interview was scheduled for 10 in the morning downtown. Ryan left home 2 hours early to avoid traffic. He wore his only suit, carefully ironed the night before. The shoes were old but polished until they looked almost new. As he hurried toward the subway entrance, he noticed a crowd forming across the street. People were staring. Some were filming with their phones. Few were actually helping. An elderly woman had collapsed beside the sidewalk. Next to her knelt a young businesswoman in an elegant gray suit desperately trying to support her. "Please," she cried. "Someone call an ambulance." Ryan looked at his watch. 9:18. If he kept walking, he'd still arrive early. Someone else would help. Surely. Then he remembered something Emma used to say. The kind of person you become is decided by what you do when helping someone costs you something. Without thinking again, Ryan sprinted across the street. "I'm certified in first aid," he said. Together they checked the elderly woman's breathing. Ryan removed his jacket and placed it beneath her head. The businesswoman's hands were shaking. I don't know what to do." "You've already done the right thing." Traffic delayed the ambulance. Minutes felt like hours. Ryan continued comforting the elderly woman while monitoring her breathing. Finally, paramedics arrived. "One family member should come with us," they said. The businesswoman looked completely overwhelmed. "I can't leave her alone." Ryan glanced at his watch. 9:47. His interview was beginning in 13 minutes. If he left now. Maybe he could still make it. Then he noticed the woman's terrified eyes. She wasn't crying for herself. She was crying because she feared losing someone she loved. Ryan knew that feeling. "I'll come too," he said. The woman looked shocked. "You don't even know us. No one should sit alone in a hospital." By the time doctors confirmed the elderly woman was stable after suffering dehydration and low blood pressure, it was nearly noon. Ryan's phone showed 6 missed calls. 1 voicemail. Mr. Parker, we've waited as long as possible. Unfortunately, since you failed to appear for your scheduled interview, we've moved on to another candidate. Ryan closed his eyes. Years of preparation. Gone. He thanked the doctors quietly before preparing to leave. The businesswoman stopped him. I don't even know your name. Ryan. I'm Claire. She reached into her purse. Please let me pay you. Ryan shook his head immediately. I didn't help for money. Then let me at least buy you lunch. I really need to pick up my daughter. Claire looked confused. You missed something important today, didn't you? Ryan smiled sadly. Just an interview. You gave it up because of us? He shrugged. Some things matter more. Claire stared silently as Ryan disappeared through the hospital doors. She never forgot his face. That evening Ryan picked Lily up from school. How did it go? She asked with excitement. Ryan knelt beside her. I didn't get to do the interview. Her smile faded. Oh. I had to help someone. Lily thought for a moment. Then Mommy would be proud. Ryan smiled through moist eyes. I think so too. The following weeks became even harder. Bills piled higher. His landlord reminded him that rent was overdue. Ryan sold his old guitar, the last gift Emma had given him, to keep the lights on. Every sacrifice hurt. Yet he never regretted helping Claire. Not once. One rainy Thursday morning, Ryan was delivering groceries when an unfamiliar black luxury car stopped beside him. The rear window lowered. Inside sat Claire. She smiled. I've been looking everywhere for you. Ryan blinked. You have? Please, would you come with me? He hesitated. I still have deliveries. I'll pay for every cancelled order. Ryan climbed inside, confused. The car drove toward an enormous glass skyscraper. Ryan looked up. Harrison Technologies. His heart skipped. What are we doing here? Claire smiled mysteriously. You'll see. She escorted him through the lobby. Employees greeted her respectfully. Good morning, Ms. Harrison. Ryan froze. Ms. Harrison? Claire led him into the executive floor. Finally they entered an enormous office overlooking the city. She turned around. I'm Claire Harrison. Ryan stared silently. The CEO? She nodded. The woman you helped was my mother. Ryan couldn't believe what he was hearing. I never told you because I wanted to find you first. Ryan sat speechless. Claire continued. I investigated why you missed your interview. I'm sorry. Don't apologize. She smiled warmly. The hiring manager only knew you never showed up. Ryan lowered his head. I understand. Claire pressed a button. Several executives entered carrying folders. I asked them to review your entire application again. Ryan looked around nervously. The interview panel unanimously agreed that your qualifications were outstanding. One executive nodded. We were disappointed you never appeared. Claire looked directly into Ryan's eyes. But after learning why, she smiled. I decided one interview couldn't measure the character we need. Ryan couldn't speak. Claire slid a folder across the desk. Inside was an employment contract. Senior Project Manager. Double the salary Ryan had expected. Excellent benefits. Flexible hours for parents. Ryan read the offer 3 times. There must be some mistake. There isn't. I didn't earn this. Claire leaned forward. You earned it long before that day. That day simply showed us who you really are. Ryan's hands trembled. I don't know what to say. Say yes. Tears rolled down his face. Yes. Claire stood. So there's one more condition. Ryan looked up nervously. Every month our executives volunteer in community service. What? I started the program after meeting you. Ryan smiled. You reminded me that leadership begins with humanity. Ryan accepted. Life slowly transformed. For the first time since Emma's passing, he wasn't constantly choosing between groceries and electricity. He attended Lily's school plays. Helped with homework every evening. Cooked dinner instead of rushing to late-night deliveries. One afternoon Lily visited his office. She looked around in amazement. You work here? Ryan laughed. I guess I do. Claire happened to walk past. She knelt beside Lily. You must be the artist. Lily smiled shyly. How do you know? Claire pulled the drawing from her purse. The same superhero picture Ryan had accidentally left behind in the hospital. I've kept this. Ryan stared in surprise. You saved it? Claire nodded. It reminded me what real heroes look like. Months later Harrison Technologies held its annual award ceremony. Hundreds of employees filled the ballroom. Claire stepped onto the stage. Tonight we're introducing a new recognition. She held up a crystal trophy. The Human First Award. She invited Ryan forward. The audience applauded. Claire spoke. This award isn't for the employee with the biggest sales or highest profits. She looked toward Ryan. It's for the person who reminds us that success without compassion is empty. Ryan accepted the award with tears in his eyes. He looked across the room. Lily sat proudly in the front row. I used to believe missing my interview was the worst day of my life. He paused. I was wrong. Silence filled the room. The worst day would have been walking past someone who needed help just to arrive on time. Many employees wiped away tears. Ryan continued. My wife always believed kindness creates opportunities we cannot predict. He smiled gently. She was right. The audience rose to its feet. The standing ovation lasted several minutes. Later that evening Ryan and Lily stood outside the building looking over the city lights. Daddy? Yes? Does helping people always get you a job? Ryan laughed. No. Then why do it? He looked up at the stars. Because it's the right thing. Lily smiled. That's enough reason. Ryan squeezed her hand. It always will be. Years later the story became legendary inside Harrison Technologies. Every new employee heard about the single father who sacrificed the opportunity of a lifetime to save someone he had never met. Most believed the miracle happened because the stranger turned out to be a CEO. But the truth was much simpler. Ryan's life changed long before he entered Claire's office. It changed the moment he chose compassion over convenience. Because kindness isn't valuable because of the rewards it might bring. It's valuable because it reveals who we are when no one is watching. Sometimes life tests us with impossible choices. Do we protect our own dreams, or do we stop to lift someone else? Most people fear that kindness will make them lose. But the greatest victories often arrive wearing the disguise of sacrifice. Ryan never helped that stranger expecting anything in return. He simply acted from his heart. And in doing so, he gave his daughter something far more precious than money. He gave her an example. She grew up believing success means nothing if you lose your humanity along the way. Years later, whenever anyone asked Ryan what the best decision of his life had been, he never mentioned accepting the job. He smiled and answered with the same simple sentence. It was the moment I decided another person's life mattered more than my own plans. And perhaps that is the greatest lesson of all. Dreams are important. Careers matter. Success changes lives. But kindness changes souls. And sometimes, when you least expect it, one act of compassion becomes the doorway to a future more beautiful than the one you thought you had lost. If this story touched your heart, remember this: every person you meet is carrying a battle you cannot see. A small act of kindness may become the miracle that changes their life, or yours. So choose compassion whenever you can, because the world never has too much of it. And if you enjoyed this inspiring story, don't forget to like this video, subscribe to the channel, and share it with someone who still believes that good people can change the world. Until next time, stay kind, stay hopeful, and never underestimate the power of one selfless decision.